chakra is located in the heart. It deals with love and is blocked by grief. Lay all your grief out in front of you. You have indeed felt a great loss. But love is a form of energy, and it swirls all around us. The air nomad's love for you has not left this world. It is still inside of your heart and is reborn in the form of new love. Let the pain flow away. Very good.
Can I have some onion banana juice, please?
Konnichiwa, ninjas. That was a clip from one of my favorite shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's probably one of my favorite clips, because, I don't know if favorite is the best word to describe it, but it was probably one of the most impactful of the series. It's kind of hard. It's pretty impressive when you consider that this show has impacted me so much. And I'm going to try my hardest to keep it together through this video. But I'm talking about some kind of deep stuff, and I can understand if you don't want to hear that. I'm more of the goofball, I guess. So if you want, you can skip it. I'm okay with that. But I really wanted to make sure I made this video. So I think I'm going to start with, because it impacted me, it got me to thinking of two very important things. Well, not some kind of, one might not seem as important. Definitely not anywhere in the same ballpark. So I'm going to start there because it's a little easier to talk about. So it deals with love. And hearing that inspired me to do two things. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is much easier to talk about. So Tales of Symphonia, my favorite game ever. I played it. It was probably after I lost my Pokemon cartridge, and what I believe to be my best friend in the Pokemon game, my Feraligatr. That game was my solace when I was incredibly lonely. So when I finally beat the game, it was an incredibly emotional experience for me. It was very sad. And I mean, for a week, I just kind of mourned or grieved it, and it was kind of rough on me, honest to God. It was kind of rough. So I kind of swore on the day that I beat it that I would never play the game ever again. I felt it would be disrespectful in some way. And I was crying a lot. This video is going to be scatterbrained, but that's okay. Maybe it'll be a little more genuine. So I remember that, it was pretty rough on me. And I know it sounds weird talking about this in kind of an emotional way, because I just beat a game. Come on, it was just a game. But to me, back then, it was definitely more than that. And my dad, I don't think he understood it. I don't think anybody really could understand it, because it was just incredibly weird. But he was there for me through this. And I mean, that's probably why it came to me, is because I'm reminded of how my dad comforted me after that. And, well, I kind of stuck to the never play Tales of Symphonia ever again thing for 6 years. But after I watched that episode, it inspired me to do two things. Well, technically a third, but we'll get to that. I guess I'll wrap up with that one. But it inspired me to, because I had already beaten the sequel, and I thought that would be like the big finale for the entire thing. But entire way through it, I just kind of felt maybe I should play Tales of Symphonia again. But I mean, it was just kind of like, it was kind of weird that I swore never to play it again. And then I watched that episode of Avatar, and it I'm talking about the easier one first here. So I thought about it, and I thought, I know they're just characters, and weren't dead or anything like that, but the love I felt for that game isn't gone, and it exists in new love. And I'm guessing some people going through this kind of emotional video and are gonna come and is like, what are you gonna do? What are you talking about? Oh wait, they're gonna be a little weirded out by this, but I say I love my best friend Wyatt, and hearing that, spreading, like, the love isn't gone you felt for the game, you can spread it on to somebody new. And I decided, what I'm gonna do? The first time I ever play that game again in 6 years, I'm gonna show it to my best friend Wyatt, and I'm gonna let him experience the love that I felt for that game. And it was pretty great. So the easier, the more like getting into the groove of why this clip was so important. There's part 1 and part 2. So me and my dad did a lot of things together. We had adventures. We went camping, and one of the big things that I remember doing was when I was like 13, I think. Yeah, I was 13. For Christmas, my dad got me and my sister Ripsticks. If you got any of you guys remember Ripsticks, there was like a skateboard but with only 2 wheels, and you had to wiggle back and forth. It's a great exercise to do that. So it was kind of weird because he got it for us during the winter, but we practiced in a gym throughout the winter. It was really hard to get the hang of it first, so I'm kind of glad he gave it to us in the winter. But I remember the following summer, after I turned 14, my sister just had no interest in riding her Ripstick. So me and my dad used to ride it all around. We used to go ride Ripsticks all around the place. I remember, side tangent, my dad actually competed in a rollerblading marathon. It was pretty cool, and he got me rollerblades too. He tried to get me to rollerblade, but I just couldn't keep up with him. Okay, so I hadn't ridden my Ripstick since my dad died. Since before my dad died, because for a while we hadn't been riding it before he died, and so I hadn't ridden it, not at all, since he died. I couldn't do it. But on hearing that, but hearing that about that little line that in this kid show, I just broke down and realized what's going on here, and it was kind of partially due to the Tales of Symphonia thing. That was one of the first things I did, but I decided, like, the love I felt for my dad, the love me and my dad had for each other isn't gone. Me and my dad loved adventuring. We loved doing cool stuff like ripsticking and all things like that. It's not gone. It still exists in the love that I feel for adventure. And I decided it was practically right after that, because I hadn't seen that episode since my dad died. And just watching it, I decided that night, that day, that instant, I needed to get on that Ripstick right then and there. And I'm a little out of shape, to be totally honest. I'm out of shape. I'm not in the best condition, and I decided to get on there. and just get out there, move forward. Adventure. I think that was probably, it was the second biggest move on experience in my life since my dad died. And the biggest one, I don't think I could get on camera without just not being able to make a coherent video. And if I could have scripted this, I could have had no ahs and ums and tried to cut out the crying for the tear ups, but then people might say, "Oh, you're not upset at all about this. Oh, you don't even feel having emotions." Or now they might even say it now, "You don't feel enough," because I was trying to keep the storytelling. That's why I'm scared to upload this video. But I mean, it needs to be said. This realization, maybe I'm just pointing out the obvious, but the love for the people that are gone, it exists in new love. Of course, the Avatar, they said for Qatar, but I just extrapolated it, I guess. The love my dad felt for adventure and just and goofy jokes and all that kind of thing still lives on in the form of my love for that stuff. And I'm just not afraid of being made fun of for this at all. I'm just not. I want to tell this story, and it needs to be told. And I could have scripted this so it didn't look well, but I thought it would be less genuine. I wanted it to be off the cuff, as raw as it gets, as raw as it would have been right after I watched it about a month ago. And I know I don't usually have clips in the videos here on this channel, but I thought it was a special occasion. And ripsticking wasn't the only thing I decided to pick up after that. Me and my dad, I didn't rollerblade since my dad died. Picked that up too. I'm gonna get out there, venture in this big world. My dad who can't. Alright, so this video might be a little awkward, but I really don't care. This is something that needed to be said. Make fun of me all you want. But that I'm being wishy-washy, talking about, oh, love, it still exists. It does. And it lives on in new love. The adventures I go on with my friends, and the adventures I go on by myself, and then maybe the adventures I take you on. The love I felt for him lives on through that. Alright. I hope maybe you got something from this video. I hope maybe I got something from this video. I'm glad I made it. I was kind of scared to do it, but I'm glad I made it. I'm probably going to be a little scared to upload it or anything like that, but I'm going to do it. Needs to be said. Alright, I'll see you in the next video, guys. A little more fun, a little more happy times to come. I must return to the shadows of the internet, but on the flash of the camera, I will return to the light. Ninja out!